podcasts. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale
it.
Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go.
And welcome in to the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. We are, it's like the eve, like before the national championship game, I think is the way to, that's where we're at. I want to thank everyone for checking out the show. I was under the weather for Wednesday, but back at it now. My buddy in the upstate, Carolina Jackpot, joins us. Jackpot, what's up, my friend?
What's going on, gang-a-lang? It's great to be back after a week-long absence. It feels like I've been gone for a year.
Yeah.
So
it does feel kind of silly, but yeah, Brock asked how I'm feeling, man. The other night I couldn't speak. It was insane. Imagine me being able to shut up.
Yeah, he finally got the member out of his throat and got back to normal. So congratulations.
Well, thank you for that. We got a lot we're going to get into this evening. We'll talk about our picks for the national title. We'll also take phone calls this evening. We're going to talk about, I called it Fool's Gold, and we're going to talk about what happened with the Gamecock basketball team this weekend. We'll get into all of that. And the NFL stuff too. There's some interesting stuff there that we'll get into today as well. Before we do that, let's thank Callaway's Bar and Grill, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. They sponsor the show. We appreciate them. And hey, they're doing some great stuff over there. Golden Tea tournaments, all kind of cool stuff at Callaway's Bar and Grill, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Beggin' Megan, who his name is Peggin' Megan, says, poor Rob, one bukkake scene and the guy gets the clap of the throat. I cannot help that your mom's germs from her cheeks fucked me up. Please don't come at me with that nonsense. I don't want to hear it. We also have from DNC Trucking and Transport, Fireside Chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, tell us a story.
Okay, let's see what kind of garbage we have here today. All right, sucks to be a Gamecock. Dennis Wilson won the Callaway's Bowl Pick'em Challenge. I'm like my Gamecocks and have never won. I may go cry like our failed number one pick Clowney. It sucks to be Gamecock. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport.
Yeah, and there, if being a failure is the NFL having 40-something sacks in a career, 320-something total tackles, started every game that you played in like 6 out of the 8 years you've been around. Oh, I don't know. I guess you're a failure, though.
That's not, sir. Dennis pays for his own stories. You don't get to make up your own.
Okay. Well,
read the copy.
I have to read the BS. That doesn't mean I can't comment on it.
Anyway. Yeah, hey, I appreciate the well-wishers over there. I thought the majority of you motherfuckers hated me, but hey, appreciate the well-wishers over there. You guys are awesome. Big Barney Ross has a couple of comments I wanted to put out there, and I have to read something from Big Barney Ross too, by the way. First of all, he says TurboTax is the worst video game ever. I agree. And he also said, I just heard my knee crack so loud I expected it to glow in the dark. That's funny. All right, but before we get into, I want to pick the championship game in a moment. Jackpot on the Rob and Kale Facebook page, on the robandkaleshow.com page, Big Barney Ross has his own bourbon column right now. So he's going to tell us about what bourbon you should drink or should not drink. So this is pretty good, right? Have you read Big Barney Ross's first bourbon entry?
I have not. This is the first that I'd heard of it, but I'm going to get right on that.
Well, how about I read it for you? It's right here. It's not very long.
I can read, but yep, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Do it for the crowd here.
I'm doing it for the crowd.
Thank
the
you.
First bourbon review from Big Barney Ross. And of course, Big Barney Ross wrote this. So let me read Big Barney Ross's bio first. Big Barney Ross is a Kentucky apologist who took up bourbon tasting at a young age to combat the stench of Wildcat football. He enjoys long walks on the beach and collecting divorces, driving fast in an armored Humvee down MSR, Michigan, getting blown up, 5 IEDs and 2 VB IEDs. His lifelong dream is to get into a fist fight.
Is it raining?
Here is his opinion on Tar Bourbon, which is Mark Stoops bourbon. He says the predominant aroma of corn husk is mixed with sentimental schoolroom whiff of white glue peeled from the fingertips. The taste on the palate is fat and buttery to start. Then a weird vegetal note emerges alongside something akin to a flat sport drink, Gatorade, Capri Sun, sweat, then sulfur, heavily chlorinated swimming pools, cheese, and sour baby vomit. Closing notes to all the listeners, avoid this bourbon. Heartburn and gargling hot asphalt is more appealing. Mark Stoops should be penalized for unnecessary roughness with this bourbon. BBR, bourbon taster extraordinaire. So thank you to Big Barney Ross.
That was delightful.
Well, hey, thanks to Big Barney Ross for giving us a bourbon review. We appreciate it. Fenemy says it sounds like goat piss. What do you think, Jackpot?
I concur. Mike Leach's pet Sasquatch is in the comment section. Now, shouldn't it be Mike Leach's heavenly Sasquatch, though?
Yeah. Well, did the Sasquatch die too? Or I'm asking.
Well, I think his soul probably did.
Fair enough. Anyway, so there's that. All right, Jackpot, do you want to do the championship preview first, or do you want to talk about your basketball team having some issues?
Well, I mean, why don't we talk about nice things first? So there's a championship game tomorrow night, and I've seen some stuff. People talked about this on Twitter, and I've thought this for a while now. And I've never heard anything really said about it until this year. Is it just not damn stupid that this game comes on at 9 o'clock on a Monday night? I mean, why? Why couldn't it have been yesterday?
Yeah. Completely agree with you. Why not have it on Saturday? High noon. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, do they have to? Is it because the basketball championship game is on a Monday too? I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, because you want the majority, more people are going to be able to watch it on Saturday night. Like myself, I mean, I ain't going to be able to watch. I'll watch that thing if it's a good game. I'll try to stay up and watch it all. But I mean, I have to get up early the next morning, and I would hope, that I mean, despite the fact that nobody wants to work anymore. I mean, most of America still does. And I got to get up the next morning. You either got to get up, work, go to school, whatever. So, I mean, that's really late.
It is late. And I know we sound like we're getting to be the old men here, but the reality is that even young people that want to watch this game, if my kids want to watch this game, holy shit, it's not going to go off the air till what, 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. So
I mean,
young kids really can't stay up and watch this. Well, they shouldn't. They will, especially if they're of the Georgia redneck variety. But they can't stay up and watch it. And people probably over our age at least onwards. So all you 20 and 30 something fucks are the only ones really allowed to watch it. Is that or if you're in preschool though, and you don't have to really go to school, then maybe you can too.
Southern Buck 352 says it's 7:30.
Sorry, you don't understand football.
He says it's 7:30, not 9. I don't like. I'm checking the time on that. I'm not. I if it's 7:30, then hey, that's great. But I'm looking to make sure that I'm not silly here. But
it's been at like 9 o'clock.
Hold on, I got it right here. It is at 7:30 on ESPN. So maybe we're bitching about nothing. It's a 7:30 thing here. It says on ESPN. So
okay,
it's still
stupid to have it on a Monday anyway. So I'm still right.
Yeah. Well, And by the way, let's talk for a second about this West Coast demographic bullshit, as Stephen A. calls it. I absolutely 1,000,000% agree with you. People are not going to be able to tailgate at that stadium. Tailgating is part of college football, whether you are a Georgia fan, South Carolina fan, Clemson fan, whatever. No. Please don't tailgate at our fucking stadium here. And then the whole time, and I understand that there are teams in the Pac-12. I get that, but let's just be completely honest. This is the kind of thing that ended up fucking NASCAR. NASCAR used to be a Southern sports thing. And the people from the North realized how great NASCAR was. Well, fuck, we need a race in Michigan. We need a race in the farthest stretch of the West Coast. Don't fuck with college football for what it is.
Yeah.
The majority of the people that are going to watch that game tomorrow night are in the South.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it is.
Good deal. I thought you were going to say something bad about Pennsylvania there for a minute, too, about them having a race there.
No.
But they've had a race at the Pocono Motor Speedway since I can remember.
Pocono was one of the original tracks, if I remember correctly, with NASCAR. I mean, it was one of the first. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with Watkins Glen. But when they go out to they got a race in Las Vegas.
They have a race in Las Vegas. They have a race in, yeah, I know. It's silly places.
I want to get to Big Barney Ross's comment here. Texas A&M hired Bobby Petrino, the SEC West. Get ready to have the highest score 8 win teams of A&M history. We'll get into that too, but let's finish our preview here, Jackpot.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, in California, you can pitch a tent and camp and live on the freaking street corner in a tent, but you can't tailgate in a parking lot at a football game. Ridiculous.
I read an op-ed from someone that was out there that was like and this person put out there, hey, look, I'm a left-leaning person and all that. I'm not trying to get into the politics of it, but what Jackpot said makes a lot of sense. This guy decided, hey, I care about the environment. I'm going to take my own money and build my own solar shack where I can power my own place, blah, blah, blah. It took fucking 4 years for them to be able to turn the power on after he built it, just because of the paperwork and behind the scenes bullshit from California. California is a shit state. I really believe that.
Yeah. Sancho says Gordon usually won Pocono. Yep, that's true. He did. After it was over, him and his boyfriend went out to eat.
Michelle here, who is a noted NASCAR apologist, hey, Vegas is a great track. Some tracks out west are a good track, but yeah, and you're right. But the reality is, would you rather have Darlington, Rockingham, Talladega? All those tracks are fucking a West Coast track.
North Wilkesboro, baby.
Damn right, North Wilkesboro. There you go. Anyway,
Martinsville.
let's see here. Big Barney Ross says they said California is the place we got to flee, so they loaded up the truck and moved back to Tennessee. Yes, B Bean, I said it's a shit state. I stand behind that. If anybody from California wants to fight about it, I'm not scared. I tell you what, I bet I can knock the fuck out of about 60 Californians before they take me. Believe that. Anyway. All right, Jackpot, can we get into the actual game here? Which way you rolling, buddy?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to take Georgia in the points, to be honest with you, but I'm just kind of scared to. So, I don't know. I think Georgia's clearly the better team of the two. I think TCU's magical run is probably going to come to an end. We had two amazing playoff games, and I just don't know that we're going to have an amazing championship game. Yeah, defensively, I just don't think they can. I don't think they can hold up, and I don't think that they. I don't think they have the firepower to score a lot on this defense, but we'll see. I'll probably lean Georgia here with the 12.5 points.
Couple of things here. Finema says he's got my back on the California thing. Mishi says I definitely don't want them in Cali. Hell yeah, I'm all about the Southern tracks. Yeah, very good. Let's see here. Cody says Georgia wins by 13. Someone said I wouldn't knock out Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's fucking 75. I think I got a fair shot. And it's not like he's going to be leading from the front. They're going to send those fucking tree-lugging hippies first. I'll burn trees and laugh at them. Who gives a shit? Have some barbecue. Those motherfuckers will be terrified. So you like Georgia in the points, right?
Yeah. I'm not confident with it, but yeah. I mean, I'm confident they're going to win. I don't know. TCU's been on an amazing run. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it will end, but I have a good feeling it will. So,
my feeling on it is very simple. The Georgia defensive line is better than the TCU offensive line, and I think I personally think that's going to matter. I think they're going to get up in that quarterback's face, which I don't think he's really faced something that's like that. I think he's going to have problems. I really do. In fact, it would not surprise me if he tries to play big balls McGee every time he goes out there. I'll lay my nuts out on every play. That could come back to bite you with the Bulldogs there. I really believe that. So anyway, Anthony says the fact that you said burn trees in reference to California with a straight face and zero sense of irony is hilarious. Thank you, Anthony. Big Barney, this Ballard Sports Media with a super chat. Love the show, guys. Got Georgia 42-30 tomorrow. Too much, let me know. Southern Buck.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Southern Buck 352 says 45-17 Dogs on top.
No, I don't. I think that's too one-sided. But.
Probably right. Peg and Megan said, imagine Georgia if they had a top 25 coach. Look, he's still mocking me for that, but this guy will mock Stetson Bennett until the end of time. The course of Stetson Bennett that most likely will have 2 national championships, and every other quarterback that Peg and Megan hit the floor to suck that penis, whether it be Matt Stafford or whoever the hell else, DJ Shockley,
Joe
we can go down the line, Joe Cox, all those guys, they don't have any fucking national titles, but Stetson Bennett is going to have 2 of them.
Murray. Stetson Bennett will have a bust in the College Football Hall of Fame, and Georgia fans will still be bitching it and wondering why it's there.
Exactly. I mean, the hatred for some of these guys, for Stetson Bennett, who is an all Georgia guy. Remember the story?
He used to have more daddies and sunshine.
Yeah, he does. He'll have more national titles than Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. And then this guy, he goes up to get the Heisman Trophy, and he goes up there and he's wearing his Georgia Letterman jacket. He wants everybody to know, I'm from fucking Georgia. Most people don't want to fucking claim that shit, but he's all happy about it. And he's not good enough for Peg and Megan. Not good enough at all. All right.
Well, he didn't win the Heisman, did he?
No, but he was one of the finalists.
Oh, he had it on. Okay, I get what you're saying.
He did the big media tour and all that, and when he did, he was in. He wore his Georgia letter jacket, and he wanted everybody to know how proud he was to be a Bulldog and all that. I mean, if he wins 2 national titles, we're not talking about. See, I think that's the problem with some folks. They think about how good of a quarterback he was as far as, hey, they went to the NFL. I'm talking about in college. He's leading 2 teams to national titles. What the fuck else do you want from a quarterback? I don't know, Jackpot. I don't know.
You can't. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's because he was so besmirched there when he took over as the starter. Because they didn't have a very good season. Well, they had a good season. I mean, by most team standards, but not by their standards. Back in 2020. When he became the starter. Remember, they didn't win the SEC East. Got it pushed down by Florida that year, if you'll remember, and it was largely thought of as a failure. So,
anyway, there's all of that. Jackpot and I both picked Georgia to win tomorrow night. So there's that. Quickly, a couple of basketball things, and then we're going to take calls. Jackpot, I want to put this out there for the Clemson folks. There's lots of new Clemson basketball fans that couldn't tell you much about Clemson hoops except for what they've watched this season. Clemson's 5-0 in conference play. There's a term called fool's gold. Do not make yourself a Gamecock fan there, Clemson folks. Don't go out and have a couple of fluke wins and think that you're a program that is nationally prominent. You are a shithole. Said it forever. Clemson basketball is like South Carolina football. Never fucking won anything. And you think that you're the best fucking thing ever, but you're not. I'm tired of seeing these new folks that don't know shit. Brad Brownell is still a fucking mediocre coach at best.
They're kind of different though. If that were the case, Clemson would be the state champions in basketball this year.
I went and watched
on a football, and they're not.
That's exactly right on the basketball front. I went and watched them play South Carolina. The team that Tennessee beat yesterday by 44 fucking points, beat this Clemson team. And there are Clemson fans out there, oh, we're going to make the tournament. You make the tournament, what's going to happen? You're going to lose to fucking Belmont? Fuck out of here. It's fucking ridiculous. And you know what? If they prove me wrong, I'll come on this show and apologize. But until then, it's fool's fucking gold. It's fool's gold.
Well, I did notice last night when I watched, or yesterday afternoon when I watched their game, they do play with a much higher tempo, pretty good, pretty fast pace. So,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying it.
That one goofy white kid, what's his name? Hunter Tyson or something.
Hunter Tyson.
Yeah, even that. I heard the Clemson announcers yesterday said that he likes to talk a lot of shit during the games or something. And when I heard that, I was like, I just hope somebody just slaps the shit out of him. And then when they came back and won that game, I just wanted to throw shit, but I was just
so Jack. Well, no, I can't say that. Someone sent me a message with a picture with Tennessee dominating South Carolina, and it said, is this what getting your shit kicked in looks like? We won't talk about the fan that said that, but yeah, that's kind of what happened. I mean, Jackpot, are we at the point now where Gamecock fans are like, man, maybe we should have kept Frank Martin?
Yeah, I mean, looking back at that, I mean, hindsight being 2020, I mean, you know, was it that bad? I mean, was he that bad? I mean, you're winning 17, 18 games a year, winning 8, 9 games in the conference a year, making the tournament once every few years. Was it that bad? Was it really? I don't know. I mean, I don't. I mean, and to that point, I've never seen a team fall apart like that and just totally dissipate when the coach left. That's exactly what happened. I mean, if he had stuck around, I mean, a lot of that production would still be back. So,
yeah, it was.
And his team is 10-5 too. By the way, they took a loss yesterday, but they're still 10. They're 10-5.
They're 10-5, 1-2 in the A10. I was pulling up here, as they did lose yesterday, but they lost to George Washington.
Well, we lost to that dead president too. So
yeah, so. Let's see who they played. They beat Central Connecticut. They lost to Towson. They beat Colorado. They beat Murray State. That's a pretty good mid-major. They beat Charlotte, South Florida, Harvard, Albany. They lost to UMass Lowell.
How did that happen?
What the fuck is it? They are UMass, but they lost to fucking I don't get that. They beat Hofstra, lost to North Texas, beat Dartmouth, lost to St. Bonnie's, beat St. Louis, and then lost to the dead president. But they're not playing bad basketball.
No, not at all.
So there's that. Uncle Lou says hello. Bill says the team that lost to South Carolina is not the same team Clemson is putting on the court now. But yes, they haven't played the best of the ACC.
It's a different team. It's a name change. I don't know. They lost.
Consistency is key. That's why this whole thing with Brad Brownell pisses me off. because once the calendar turns to February, it turns to shit. That's what happens. That's fucking Cinderella. It's ridiculous.
They don't say that either, because they were the ones a few years ago when South Carolina tried to say, well, Sendarius Stormwell had the flu and so did this and that. When Clemson beat South Carolina the year South Carolina went to the Final Four. So I ain't hearing it.
All right. Well, anyway, I don't know if there's any help. Bill says PJ Hall didn't play against South Carolina. Yes, sir, he did. He played in that game. I was live at the game. He did play in that game. He was still battling back from the knee injury, but he did play. So there's that. Phone lines are open. Oh, congratulations to Elijah. 130 days sober. Brother, people have to battle things all the time, and we goof a lot on each other on this show, but I tell you what, when you're battling something like that and you got 130 days in, we will highlight that. There you go. Out to the phones we go. Let's answer this call here. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, appreciate y'all letting me call in. I've been real busy. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to call in. Preparing for my second straight national title tomorrow. It's been a lot of work.
That it has. You have been putting in some.
But I've put the effort in, and I'm ready to reap my reward.
I tell you what, you got to ride that Stetson Bennett penis all the way to that national title. So it's only, a couple inches off the floor.
Yeah, that's what I was calling to ask you. If you could tell me who the third best quarterback in Clemson history was.
Taj Boyd.
Why isn't it Homer Jordan?
I just think Taj Boyd played in a more up-tempo type offense.
Taj Boyd didn't win a natty.
Okay. I think it was
I just listened to you talk about Stetson Bennett for 5 minutes, and the only thing you said about him being the greatest quarterback in Georgia history was the fact that he had 2 natties. You didn't really say anything else about him. Why isn't Homer Jordan? Isn't Homer Jordan tied with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence as the greatest QBs in Clemson history?
Well, not necessarily, but I was making that as kind of a mock to the folks who are. I mean, it seemed like there were people that were rooting against Stetson Bennett. That's kind of where I was going with that.
Okay. Well, I was just checking in.
Well, we always appreciate you checking in, sir. Do you have a prediction for tomorrow's game, or should we send everyone over to the YouTube channel and you can get your prediction there?
No, you don't have to send anybody over there. Georgia is going to score in the 40s, and TCU is going to score in the 20s.
Fair enough.
So take Georgia and lay the points before it goes back up
tomorrow against Georgia, or I think they'll shut him down pretty much.
Who?
Max Duggan. I think he's getting shut down tomorrow.
I think he'll make more plays with his legs than he does with his arm.
Probably.
I'm not real worried about them throwing the ball, to be honest.
Probably so.
Quentin Johnston is good. The problem is not Quentin Johnston. The problem is that their number 2 is not Omeka Ibuka, and their number 3 is not Julian Fleming. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be honest. I can't tell you more than one wide receiver's name on TCU. Now, that doesn't mean they're not any good. But what I'm saying is it's a lot easier to try to focus on limiting one wide receiver when you don't have 2 other NFL first rounders on lined up at the same time.
Yeah, that's true.
So
definitely don't
I think Quentin Johnston will make some plays, but I don't think it's going to be like Ohio State where there's 3 wide receivers running wide open on every single play.
Yeah. And I think TCU may feel a little bit spent from that big win over Michigan, and I don't know. I don't know if there's any gas left in the tank. I think
Yeah,
they're
I like TCU's offense, and I would never count Max Duggan out. And like I hope to God Georgia's not up 6 points with 1 minute to go, and TCU's got the ball, because if that's the case, TCU's going to win. I've just seen it too many times. But I mean, if TCU wins, it's going to be 50-45. I mean, their defense isn't very good.
no.
Yeah,
They give up a lot of yards, a lot of points. I think they're 65th or something in scoring defense. I don't know. They're not going to be able to even slow Georgia down offensively, I don't think. So unless their offense plans on scoring in the 40s, and they have a good offense, but it's not Ohio State. I mean, let's just be real.
No.
They can't sling it down like that. Max Duggan's got a lot of upside, but he doesn't throw the ball like C.J. Stroud does. I mean, I just don't see TCU being able to score enough to win this game.
No, I don't either.
I'm really not that worried. I am worried about Georgia winning by more than 13.5, though. I'm extremely worried about that.
Well, the line currently, I believe, is at 12.5. Are you comfortable there?
Well, I bet it at 13.5, so yeah. And I need Georgia to cover for me.
Yeah, I think
TCU's defense is right down there with the Gamecocks. I mean, it's like, I mean, they give up about the same amount of yards per game, so I don't know.
Yeah, and that's automatically not good.
Not great.
Well, good luck to your team tomorrow night, sir. And as always, we appreciate you calling.
Hey, can Marshawn Lloyd play linebacker?
Probably not.
No.
No.
All right. Well, looks like Southern Cal's done hit its ceiling then. Y'all have a great day.
See you later. Let's go to the phones. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
What's up, guys? It's Ballard Sports Media. How y'all doing?
Ballard,
Good.
how are you, sir?
Wishing my team was in it this year, but you got to credit Georgia and TCU. I think we got a good showdown tomorrow night.
We do, but Happy New Year. Alabama's not in the final.
Yeah, college football got their way.
You know, Alabama, here's the thing about Alabama. I goof on Alabama fans, but I don't really have a fucking problem with them. They win because they got the best of everything, man. They really do.
Yeah.
I like it when they go into a game and then there's not necessarily the Alabama fans, but the outside people, the Stephen A. Smith and all the ESPN talking
like the
heads.
media.
Yeah, those folks, when they're just like, they are just hoping to chug on Alabama penis until the end of time. And then someone goes out and slaps Alabama around. It warms the cockles of my heart. It happened this year with Tennessee. Everybody's like, man, Tennessee, man, that maybe they'll keep it close. And I goof on the Tennessee fans, but it warmed my heart a little bit to see them beat Alabama. I wasn't going to throw something in the water about it, but it made me feel good there for a minute. It really did.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'll say this about the game tomorrow. You know, both these teams deserve to be in it. The only thing I'll say, though, is TCU, and I've been telling this to everybody else on YouTube, would you agree with me that, like, it's okay if they're down maybe a field goal or a touchdown, but TCU cannot get down double digits against Georgia, right? Because they're not coming back from that, I don't think. I think Georgia's defense is too much.
I agree with you, sir. Very good.
Yeah.
You're right about that. TCU gets down, I think it's over.
Yeah. So, I mean, they got to get off to a fast start, which I think that they could. I think they've shown that. I mean, Max Duggan, you know, he's only got, 6 picks, 32 touchdowns, and they got a great running back, Keandre Miller, who's just a yard shy, actually, believe it or not, of 1,400 yards. And, you know, I'm going to be honest, too. I could understand Georgia if they win by like 10 or I don't know about that 12.5 though, man. I really don't.
I think I've been on it from the start that I'm betting Georgia and the points. So
yeah.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling the program, man.
Thanks. All right.
Jackpot, are you laughing at what I've highlighted here, or are you laughing at something else?
No, I right at the beginning of Ballard's call, I accidentally let out a huge fart. And,
Oh God, I didn't hear that.
Oh well, I don't think everybody did, but some did catch it, and asked if I felt better, and I said, "Yeah, my colon is now thoroughly cleansed."
Stephen A says we need a 24/7 Big Barney channel. Talking about Big Barney Ross. Don't care about your sports takes. Just tell us about your ex-wives and favorite brisket recipes. Real talk. Big Barney Ross sent me some of the barbecue sauce he made. If that motherfucker bottled that up and sold it, he would make millions. That shit is outstanding. So there's that. I don't know. Big Barney Ross could probably do his own cooking show too.
Well, how did he bottle? Well, how did he send it to you? In a spoon?
No, he sent it to me in a bottle, but I'm talking about if he bottled up and like sold
Well,
it.
when it was bottled up, then.
Good point, sir. Good point. 803.
Well, cats are the most annoying animals in the planet.
What's that?
Cats. So they're not the most annoying animals to have for pets. This one either wants out, he wants in, he wants out, he wants in. I mean, they're never happy. Never.
Couple of comments here. Uncle Lou says he's a little upset about some of the mean comments about me in the comments every time he calls in. Apparently, Uncle Lou, you've got like a slew of people that you blocked and they want to be unblocked. So I just throwing that out there because they ask every time, tell Uncle Lou to unblock me. I don't know what happened on what front, none of my business, but you should have a day where it's clemency day. You just start unblocking people by the hundreds. What's the worst that can happen? So
look, now he said he likes to call in to talk, but if the bullying in the comment section doesn't stop, he's going to have to stop calling in. Come on now, it's uncalled for.
God damn it! Like that's funny. Uncle Lou talking
we don't do that. We don't treat people that way.
Holy shit, that's funny.
We pray for them and lift them up. We don't bash them.
We don't pray. Uncle Lou says he unblocks people if they send a detailed apology email. Damn,
that's all you got to do. I mean, there you go.
I wonder how many people are on the Uncle Lou block list. I'm wondering if it's in the over under 60 jackpot. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that thing that he has personally blocked, I would think under. I don't think Lou. I think Lou kind of battles the trolls. I don't think he really blocks them like that. Now, maybe some of his moderators have blocked some, So maybe I would say over if you gave me a total as far as being blocked on the Uncle Lou channel itself. But as far as ones he has personally blocked, I would probably say under. Oh, it's just over 1,000. Okay, well, I'm way off.
We lost that bet. Anyway, 803-470-2905. If you want to make your pick for the national championship game, Ballard Sports Media doesn't like the points. That was a big thing there with him. So, yeah. I think Georgia's defensive line is just better than their offensive line. I think they're going to win big. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Jackpot's more. Jackpot can watch enough of that game tomorrow night before he has to go to bed. And when he wakes up in the morning, he's not going to be surprised. I think that game will be over at the half. So,
yeah. It's not going to be like last Saturday night when I fell asleep early like an old man and woke up at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and I was like, suck it now.
Bradley says Talking Vols blocked everybody. Yeah, they certainly have.
Talking Vols sucks.
Yeah, the only and I'm tired of people like I did BVD show last week, and they were talking about I can't remember who it was, but one guy was in there saying he was a moderator in there, and that they didn't tell you to call back and all that shit. I'm like, you know what? Not only are they fucking stupid, but their listeners are fucking stupid. Goddamn, I watched it. I watched the video where they told Jackpot, call back after the game. So He called back after the game, after they got 63 hung on him, and then they didn't want to play. They wanted to act like punk bitches. So fuck them. So there's a point there. If Georgia doesn't win by more than 13.5, Uncle Lou wants to move in. Are you good with that?
If UGA doesn't win by more than 13.5, can you move in? Sure.
All right. Well, there you go. You got
to try to find a place for you out here. I'll probably have to get another couch or something. Set you up because you can't sleep in my room because I snore. And that's just weird. But yeah, you definitely have a roof over your head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Well, out to the phones we go. Welcome into the program.
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. I just wanted to throw this out there now. Anybody that is named Stetson Fleming Bennett the Fourth, they don't lose championships, guys. They just don't lose them. But let me ask you this. Last year, he wins Georgia championship. They wanted this kid gone. What happens if he does lose his championship? And I don't think he will, because anybody with that name is royalty. You're going to win. You're a winner. But, you know, they wanted him fired and gone last year when he won the thing. What happens if he actually loses? I mean, what happens then? I get off here and listen to what y'all have to say about that.
Well, I think he's gone regardless, right? If he's not out of eligibility, I don't know who is.
I think he's a super senior. I don't think he can come back.
I think he's a super duper senior, high school class of 2014. No, he's not that old, but he's pretty old. So yeah, I think he's gone either way. And what will his legacy be? Dude, he's going to win a national championship tomorrow night. He's going to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. Just what's up.
I wonder if they're going to make him take his sneakers off and it'd be like, you know, to put them in the Hall of Fame. They make him take them off before he leaves the field.
Yeah,
and
he's going to go in as is.
As is. Okay. See how that goes. Back out to the phones we go. And welcome to the program. Good evening.
You asking what Stetson Bennett would do if he loses the national championship?
That's what Big Barney Ross said. Yes, sir.
He retires and he draws Social Security.
That's a good point. Yeah. I can't really argue with that, Jackpot. Maybe he would retire and draw Social Security. I mean, he's definitely getting the AARP stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets that literature in the mail. Probably has to put some reading glasses on to look at it.
Yeah.
I get AARP stuff in the mail too.
I think I got my first set of it the other day. So yeah. They start targeting you when you're fucking. It's like, what the hell? So I don't know. We'll see how that works out. AARP stuff. Kirby's Visor says Stacavius will go down as the second greatest UGA player outside of Walker. What? Okay.
What?
Brock Lee says he could become a midget wrestler. Yeah.
That's still. The only one that still was Hornswoggle still around.
No, they've got like they're gonna have them at the Skyline Club here in Columbia in a couple weeks. It's like all midgets all the time.
The Skyline Club, is that a strip club?
No, it's like a country western club.
Well, that sounds like the name of a damn strip joint.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, it's they're gonna have them there on like a Thursday night. You can go and watch the midgets wrestle. They like wrestle. Yeah, why not? Some midget wrestling.
Skyline, the Mile High Club.
The Mile High Club. Sancho says I wouldn't go on the Talking Vol show after the Orange Bowl. I mean, I'll go and talk on any damn show. I don't give a shit. I'm not scared of any fucking show. What are you talking about, dude? The only bitch fans are Tennessee fans. With their little talk. Let's just talk about living in a vacuum and just talk about the great things with Tennessee. Let's not look into the fact of this, that. No. None of that happened. Those are the bitch fans. I'll go on their show if they want me on their show. That's fine. They're not gonna want to hear what I have to say.
No,
But
they'll hang up on
please.
you. I noticed I've been watching a little NFL football today. Lost today 11-6.
Yeah,
But there was a safety on the last play of the game, the fucking Dolphins. So they're done. And I watched Carolina Panthers won, like 2 seconds left there. Field goal from the former Florida kicker, Eddie Pinheiro.
Yeah. Oh, well, that person just hung up. Sorry about that. Whoever that is, call us back. Eddie Pinheiro. Yeah.
He nailed it. And then I saw the Giants playing the Eagles today with the coach. He favors Carolina Jackpot. Carolina Jackpot doesn't favor me.
Yeah, Jackpot had that look first. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, sorry about that. I didn't mean to hang up on y'all. I'm in the shower and I have my phone in a Ziploc bag, and the bag must have touched the hang up button. So sorry about that. That was me that called and hung up just now before you could put me on. So I apologize for that. What was I gonna say? I thought about something else too, which is amazing. Do you realize how much better AJ McCarron is than Bryce Young and Tua? Now that's crazy. Way better. I mean, way, way better. Have a great day.
It's creepy that someone's calling us from the shower. I do hear there's a new segment of folks that like to drink in the shower. I have not gotten to that yet, but
They like to drink in the shower?
Yeah, I saw this the other day. I can't remember where I saw it. And this guy talks about like his best beers of the day are the 2 that he has in the shower.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. Shower drinking is a thing. And I'm not mocking anybody. I'm just saying there's a movement of people that like to drink in the shower. Shower beers. Blake knows what I'm talking about. You ever had a beer in the shower, Jackpot?
I have before. To be honest with you, I have drank beer in the shower before. I brushed my teeth in the shower.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we're talking about shower stuff now. Awesome.
I started doing that in college. I shave in the shower too. I have a little mirror in there. That's where I shave the old dome skillet in the shower. It's easier. Yeah.
Carson says thumbs up to drinking in the shower. Big Barney Ross says shower bourbon. Roll Tide says I'm a fan of shower beer. Okay, then.
You know what's not cool is to shit in the shower.
I've never shit in the shower, but okay.
Well, we all know about that waffle stomping.
The waffle stomping. Very good. Very good. The waffle stomping. That's what it is. So there's that. All right. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. If you'd like to join the program this evening. Jackpot, I was looking at some of the transfer portal stuff. There are tons of players going all over the damn place, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 1,000 kids in the transfer portal. I mean, you think they're all going to get picked up? No, I mean, their careers are over and they're done. I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't playing where they were at, and they're not going to be playing. That's just sad, but that's reality. It is what it is.
Marshawn Lloyd going to Southern Cal.
Yeah, I don't get that. People say, well, they went there for the NIL money. So, I mean, to get NIL money, don't you have to get some kind of name, image, or likeness deal, like some kind of commercial, or don't you have to do something, for somebody, something?
I think they have collectives or whatever that.
So, like,
money.
In Los Angeles, California, like, so, I mean, what was Marshawn Lloyd going to do? A commercial for the Tesla dealership. I mean, nobody knows who Marshawn Lloyd is there. All this is just some underhanded way of giving some kid a bag.
Well,
that's all it is.
You know,
I hate to say it, and he was the best back in the state when he was healthy, but he ain't healthy very often. And if they're sitting there shelling out money for him, then there must be damn hard up. That's all I gotta say. He ain't gonna win no championships there either, and not like he was winning championships in South Carolina. You gonna win shit at Southern Cal. They're only gonna go so far. Their ceiling is like 10 wins because they don't play defense. That's Lincoln Riley. I'm tired of everybody talking about how great of a coach he is. He's not a great coach. It's just not. He's not a championship level coach. Teams don't play defense at all. I think it's not important. All you got to do is just keep outscoring everybody. Wrong.
That's not going to work.
You can't even beat a group of 5 team in your bowl. Shut up. Shut up and go away.
Yeah, I think that
what did his defense fell apart, shit the bed, and gave up like 14 points in the last 2 minutes to a group of 5 team.
Oh, it's a group of 5 team. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah.
Bad.
Not good. Anyway, yeah, I'm watching the end of that Dolphins Jets game. They just show where the guy kicked the field goal, and all these guys are happy as piss out there. And
yeah, and the Jets tried to do a bunch of laterals and crazy stuff on the last play of the game, and ball got knocked backwards into the end zone, and somebody recovered it for a safety.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to put the 11 points up there. The referee did this signal while the Dolphins players were all celebrating everywhere. You really can barely see him do it. And I'm like, does anybody realize that was a safety and that he just called for that, and then they eventually put it up there?
Random comment from Brock Lee. He said, I'll never put my feet up on the dash because if I get in a wreck, that airbag would give me the worst kick in the balls of my life.
Damn right.
Uncle Lou says you can't hold it against Lloyd that South Carolina is poor. There's that. Okay. Look, I here's the thing that I didn't understand about Lloyd. It's not like the Gamecocks have a slew of running backs coming back to the program where he's going to have issues on the depth chart. The guy's RB1. Seriously, I mean, let's be honest, Jackpot. Is there somebody? I mean, are you going to start? I mean, Juju McDowell, you think you're going to start him over him? No,
he's not an SEC level running back. He's not a starter.
But I mean, we can agree going into the spring, unless something happened, Lloyd would be RB1. He's a number 1 running back for that team. So maybe there's something else. I mean, it could be NIL. Who knows at this point? But I mean, it's not for playing time. That's for goddamn sure.
No, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I don't think much of anything about it. So,
yeah. Well, there's still a lot of guys that are out there in the portal.
One at a time with everybody out there, and I'm going to ask this in the comment section too. That right now, as the national championship is drawing to a close, it's kind of almost like I can't college football 365 24/7. I just can't. I gotta have a little bit of time to decompress, and I kind of decompress between now and spring practice time. But god dang, I mean, it's everything you turn on, every channel. We're talking NIL, portal. It's just it almost gets to give you a damn headache after a while.
Yeah. Stephen A says RB in Pac-12 is like being a plan B for a hooker. It's just easier. Very good, Steve. That's solid. Oh, I like that comment. That's actually funny. Look, I don't know. I think that I try to think of different ways to make where the transfer portal would balance out and stuff like that, but it doesn't make any sense. One of the things I was talking about with our buddy Mike Buse from Callaway's, we're talking about, hey, if you get your NIL money, that's great, but here's what's going to happen. You get a third of it now. The rest of them we're putting in a trust for you. If you decide to transfer, money's zeroed out. Have a nice day. If you stay, you get your money. I mean, that's one way to look at it, but then it's like, well, you're stealing money from the kid. Oh, man, I don't know. There really is no right or wrong with it. Yeah, but I don't know at this juncture. We shall see. We shall see.
I mean, what if Ernie Ladd was the head coach out there at Southern Cal, and Marshawn decided to be soft and have another high hip bruise or thigh bruise that takes 6 weeks to get over? About the fourth week, Coach Ladd tells him, "You're stealing money, Lloyd. Every time you act like you're going to put your uniform on, you're stealing money from the University of Southern California, Lloyd."
You fumble that fucking ball over there to them Cowboys, and you're stealing that money. That's what you're doing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know of another way to do it, but I do think that when you really stop and think about it, yeah, the idea of, the university still selling jerseys for guys that played there from before, that's a little far-fetched, and they should figure out something with that. But hey, I want $2 million to be your quarterback for one season. Fuck out of here, man.
I don't understand there's a lot of hate for, I don't know if it's hate for Georgia out there on the internet or if it's just love for the underdog. But there's a lot of people pulling for TCU in this game tomorrow night. I'm not necessarily in that camp. I mean, that really does nothing for me or my team. So, I guess I'm back in UGA. I mean, South Carolina plays them every year. They kicked our shit in this year, so I guess I could say, hey, we got it kicked in by the two-time defending national champs. What you want us to do? It helps with the excuse making a little bit.
Well, I'm just going from the perspective of, hey, this is the way that I see it going. But then again, the average TCU fan would be like, no one gave us a chance against insert XY team here. No one gave us a chance against them. I'm just telling you what I think.
And how big of a fan base do they actually have? What is that thing that they have, or something that they've been holding up at the games? I think it's something. It's a tradition. It's like a tie-dyed horn frog. I can't believe I can't remember what they call it. There you go. Hypno frog. Hypno toad. You seen that?
No.
It's like,
hold on, let me see if I can find that. TCU Hypnotoad
poster or something. It's weird.
What the fuck is this? Oh, is it this thing right here, Jackpot? This is insane. Hold on, let's share this. So they have a Hypnotoad. Really? Okay. This thing looks like it's on LSD, by the way. I'm just saying. So that is the Hypnotoad. Is that what you're talking about right there? Yeah. That has to be it, right?
Yep. Well,
I mean,
there's a lot to choose from.
Well, then maybe they're all on acid. Who knows? I don't know. That's pretty interesting. So they stole it from the Cartoon Network.
Oh, my God.
Tom Reed said the only thing that can combat NIL is a good culture. Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that either. Because, look, what did the $1 Million Man say, Jackpot?
What's that?
Remember what the phrase from the $1 Million Man was?
Everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much what it is.
Now he's saying praise the Lord and hold the collection plate. He's preaching.
Yeah, well, either way, I still think that money comes down to it. These guys are gonna money talks, man. That's the way that it is. So there's that.
I'm heartbroken when I found out Tatanka had a prize for the $1 Million Man. I'm just
that's funny. I've been watching some old school wrestling stuff, man. That stuff, a lot of it still holds up if you're really into it. It really does. And
a lot of those people were before their time,
Absolutely. Tom Reed said that's fair. Yeah, and it's nothing against the player, but hey, if I can go somewhere else and make some make more money, hell, why not? Johnny says it'd be cool if a team like TCU stayed relevant for a while. Someone new for a change. He says, I hope my dogs beat the shit out of them, though. Uncle Lou says, since 5 minutes after last year's natty ended, I've been focused on tomorrow. All the work I put in the offseason, the dedication, the training, losing 15 pounds, it has all led me back to this point. I didn't know Uncle Lou would play.
Congratulations on losing that weight, by the way. I know that you got a lot of ridicule in that when you gained it. I've been there.
That's funny. All right. Well, Stone Cold equals the GOAT. Very good, Sancho.
Yeah, there'll never be another.
You know, I mean, I like Stone Cold a lot, but I mean, I don't know, man. There were other guys that I was really into, man. I was into a good bit of them, but even before
if you
that,
think about it, he really didn't have that long of a career.
Not really.
I mean, not as Stone Cold anyway.
No.
It was really only about 5 years or so.
That's true.
So.
All right. Well, let's go back out to the phones one more time here. Let's see who this is. Okay, go to the phones. All right, phones. Hello.
Hey, it's Chris in Georgia. Man, Tennessee just been beating up on the state of South Carolina last week.
Cool.
Yeah.
They doubled up that basketball team. It looked like the football team talked to them before. They got revenge on that. And then Clemson, man, that was a fun time in Miami. I don't know.
South Carolina sucks. I mean, that not much you can do with that.
Yep.
True. Okay. So you think Clemson? Dabo thinks Clemson's not going to skip a beat next year. What do you think? Think they're going to be better? You think?
Did he say that?
Well, he said. People said, "Do you think Clemson's fallen off?" And he go, "We wanted ACC and da da da."
Well,
But I mean,
look, I mean, I can't. I'm not going to sit here and try to blow smoke up anybody's ass. But here's the thing: Clemson is still one of the better programs in the country. It's not like Clemson's going to fall completely off the face of the fucking planet in 1 year. It's not like they're going to be the Rams from last year winning the Super Bowl and then finishing 5-12 this year. It's not going to happen. So Clemson's biggest problem, there are a lot of people that look at it and say, oh, it was Uiagalelei's fault. It really wasn't. There's a couple of things that Clemson doesn't have right now. One of them is
coaching.
You need to fuck off with the coaching because you have no clue about that with your gimmick ass coach. Okay. Tell me about his 2 national titles. I'll fucking wait. Okay. There you go. So close your mouth. You don't have national titles. You don't have national titles. You have one great win over Alabama and one great win over Clemson. Other than that, you're a fucko. Let me finish my thoughts, sir. And it comes back down to this. Clemson doesn't have any wide receivers like they had before. There's no T. Higgins on that team. There's no Justin Ross on that team.
No Mike Williams.
Some of the recruitings on that front. Some of the guys that were supposed to be those guys did not fizzle out like they were supposed to. That's a big part of it. They've got to address that, and they've got to address some of the stuff on the offensive line as well. That's the big problem with Clemson.
I mean, if you look at Jalen Hyatt's numbers before this year, before he won the Biletnikoff, you wouldn't think he would turn into anything. Same thing with Cedric Tillman before Heupel got there. That's coaching, man. You could coach up good wide receivers. These dudes were 4 stars and 5 stars for a reason. Like the fact that the guy is not getting the coaching is
all 5 stars and 4 stars completely pan out all the time. That's what you're telling me.
How many 5 and 4 stars in the wide receiver room do you have, and you can't get 2 at least one to pan out? I mean,
sir, do you watch football
all the time, bro?
Okay, well, look, there's this thing. You have to have different kinds of wide receivers. You can have guys that can go down the field and run past everybody. You can have big body wide receivers. You can have wide receivers that go across the middle. Clemson doesn't have a good collection of that. They don't have the guy like a Hunter Renfrow that can complement some of the other guys that are running down the damn field. They had a poor mix of wide receivers there.
National championship.
What are you talking with the year they won the national title?
Which TCU
title?
has one wide receiver on their team that's worth a shit, and they're in the national title.
Okay, good for them.
I mean, it's the ACC, man. It's not like. I mean, FSU is going to be your biggest competition for the next 3 to 5 years. So
it's really hard for me to listen to you talk about the ACC and everything else when, hey, you won this year, but it's not like you've been nationally relevant. Not for the longest.
And I didn't say we got good coaching. What I'm saying, you're lacking. He's doing exactly what Philip Fulmer. Trust me, dude. As a Tennessee fan, I watched Philip Fulmer do this exact same thing. It was, oh well, I'm not going to screw over Randy Sanders. I'm going to let him be the offensive coordinator since David Cutcliffe went and got a head coaching job. And it's like, yeah, but he's not good. Why are you? He doesn't have the experience. Why are you going to do that? It's like, because I'm faithful to my guys, and then we fall off, and by 07 he's fired. Like, you can't. You got to get experience, man. It's just, especially if you're going to try to reach on a lot of guys.
Phil Fulmer has a national title. Does Josh Heupel have a national title? Just wondering.
Oh my gosh, Josh Heupel's been the head coach for 5 years, dude. Like,
cool, good for him.
How many years was? How many years before was Dabo before he won 11 games, beat 6 ranked teams in 1 year? Like, how many years was that before he
bring Clemson into the mix? They've won 10 games a year for the past 10 years. That's consistency.
Okay, and
that's
I think
good.
Heupel could
That
do
is
that
good coaching. You think that he can do that, but he hasn't done it yet. You think that he can, and he very may well, but he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it yet.
Okay, but you're saying that Dabo is infallible and he can't fall off.
No, I'm not saying that Dabo is infallible and they can't fall off. But the idea that they're going to fall off the face of the planet in one season is pretty goddamn silly.
I mean, yeah, it's unlikely with who y'all play. But at the time,
oh, Jesus Christ.
If y'all win 9 games next year, and then a bowl game, or you sneak into the ACC championship and win it, then he's gonna be like, "Well, we won 11 games again. We so good." It's like, yeah, but every good team you came up against, smokes you, dude.
Okay. I mean, whatever it is you want to believe, it's Sunday night, and I'll stand on Dabo Swinney's coaching record and the fact that he has more wins over Alabama in the past decade than Tennessee does. Things like that. I mean, unless Alabama's a shithole. Is Alabama a shithole? Help me out with that.
You think you would have beat Alabama this year? Do you think your team would have beat Alabama this year?
I don't know. We didn't play them.
That's
Season's
unfortunate.
over, brother.
Should've.
You can't. Clemson cannot help the conference that they're in. Okay, just like you can't help the East Division that you're in.
Every year, my dude.
Teams don't change. It's God damn it. Okay, dude.
I mean,
what else do you got, man?
They just can't. I mean, Clemson just doesn't have the market to be attractive to a better conference. I get that. I mean, they're a small school with a low graduation, low enrollment rate.
That's completely not true. But go on with that nonsense. Just keep spewing nonsense that you know nothing about. Okay.
They think they get Charlotte market, but
look,
they don't.
Let me explain something to you. You're a Tennessee fan that moved to fucking Georgia. That's all I have to go with there.
You're a Clemson fan that lives in Columbia.
I live in the state, brother. I live in the state. It's an hour and 20 minutes from my fucking door to Clemson.
I bet I live closer to Knoxville than you live to Clemson. I bet you $100 fucking dollars I do.
Well, that's because your parole officer says you can't live that far out. Don't do drugs, sir.
I put people like you on parole. I don't get on parole, dude.
Okay. Anything else you want to throw out there? Why don't you tell us Josh Heupel's never going to lose again? That'll be fun.
I mean, I'm not silly enough to think that. You're the one that's thinking your coach is infallible. I don't think my coach is infallible.
I never said he's infallible. I just said that Clemson's not going to fall off the face of the planet after a couple of fluke losses. I don't think it's going to happen. As much as you guys want to jump up there, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to be a top 15 team next year. And probably the year after that.
Start off.
And probably the year after that. They have a solid foundation.
How many games?
That's how it works.
How many games into the season? You think the Notre Dame game will be the first time they start calling for Chris Spaghettio or whatever pasta he's named after? I can't remember.
What are you talking
or will
about?
they?
Who is Chris Spaghetti?
Like y'all did this year with DJ. How many games in do you
Who
think
is Chris
Cade will
Spaghetti, sir?
have a performance like?
Are you
last
talking about
Friday?
Cade Klubnik? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the
Okay.
true freshman y'all got coming in. Y'all are going to want him to replace Cade probably after the Notre Dame game.
Oh,
game.
what's his name?
Sure. I don't know what
Chris
you're talking
Spaghetti
about.
or something like that. Chris Pastorini or something. I don't know.
It's something Italian.
Yeah.
But they'll be calling for him. Y'all lose to Notre Dame, and he'll be like,
Sure.
Yeah, he's going to be the next savior.
Up with Chris.
Yeah, sure. Anything
I
else,
was
sir?
oh my God. You guys almost had me scared of Klubnik. Like I genuinely went to the game and I went in and I was like, oh man, he might be kind of good. And then first play, he got lit up like a Christmas tree, and I was like, dude, you should have took that Christmas tree down already. Man, it's almost New Year's, and I was like, he's gonna be running for his life all night. And is that the same? Y'all bringing that O-line back next year? Y'all not getting anybody from the portal or anything?
I'm not sure who Clemson's going to make moves for in the portal, but they could obviously use some offensive linemen and some wide receivers.
I think you can make wide receivers. You got work. You just need to coach them up. They're quick.
Okay.
They can catch when they want to. You got to
Okay.
stop playing your son. I mean, Dabo wants to play his son instead of playing real athletes. Like, I don't know what the deal with that is. Like, why are you going to try to run a fake and then have the slowest guy on your team?
He's a real athlete. He's just not a real good one.
In your opinion, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't have to have talent to play wide receiver, right? As long as you can catch, that's all that
I
matters.
didn't say you didn't have to have talent. I said if you're like a 4 or 5 star. I mean, Jalen Hyatt was a top 150 recruit and wasn't getting coached.
The
point,
point,
he got some coaching. He blew up.
On all of that, the point on all of that is that you can be a 4 or 5 star player and not be worth a shit. It's just the way that it
all
is.
your coaches are in Virginia, and y'all going to bring back Jeff Scott since he got fired. Our gimmick offensive coordinator replaced your good offensive coordinator.
The guy that ends up being your defensive coordinator is like is going to be laughed at. Like, man, you're going to go there for that? Great.
I mean, it'll still be Tim Banks. He allowed you guys to get 4.5 yards of play. That's abysmal, my dude.
Yeah.
Ran 100 plays.
I told you, and I told you what happened on that. I told you what happened on that. They didn't have the wide receivers.
100 plays and 1 touchdown. What?
Yes.
That's got to be the worst rate for a game all year.
Well, I mean, or it could be, it could. That was probably that was very shocking to me that Clemson had that much, as far as beating the shit out of you in total yards against that gimmick offense. So yeah, I was surprised. I really was.
If you're getting 4.5 yards of play, I mean, that's not impressive. Like,
sure,
that's not impressive. Tennessee had almost 6 yards of play.
Yeah.
You guys had 4.5, and you're acting like you did something.
Well,
that's why Tennessee had 31 points, and you had 14.
Right, and Clemson lost. They lost. Simple as that. I can deal with that. They lost. It's on to the next season where they're going to be one of college football's blue bloods, and y'all are going to be the fluke that we hope.
You're not blue blood. You're a new blood, but you're not. You guys are
they
new
are
money.
A college football blue blood, man. Stop it.
Oh, you're.
Stop it.
That's like saying Tennessee's a blue blood in basketball because we win conference titles.
You don't win
and shit all the
anything in
time.
basketball. You don't win anything in basketball. Stop it. It's not like people think about Tennessee basketball.
I know it's not
that
like
way.
people think about Clemson football, dude. Dude, if I went in the time machine right now to 10 years ago,
sure,
I could show people in friggin' the capital of South Carolina a picture of Dabo Swinney, and most of them would know who he was. Like, don't act like
10 years ago,
years
that big
Nick Saban
Play Bowl.
Sure. Well, I tell you what, let's do what being that it is the new year, and I'm still in the holiday spirit. Why don't you guys craft that banner for you and hang it up there in that stadium? That way y'all can look at it and say, hey, we beat Clemson.
That bowl game doesn't come with a banner. It comes with a trophy.
Third Saturday in October, and we printed T-shirts about it. We hang those two things up. Hendon Hooker almost went to the Heisman Trophy final. Almost. You have a whole bunch of almost banners up there.
South Carolina 5
you have
times in a row, dude.
almost up there banners. You can have all those, man. Line them up.
You guys,
one right after another.
You guys sat there hung banners for a home
hang,
winning streak.
like right next to it,
at home.
you can hang most sanctioned program in the SEC. You can hang
Oh
that up there too. You can hang all that.
speaking of which, see, I had never been to. I only Clemson game I ever went to was in Doak Campbell against FSU. Where I got a buddy, big FSU fan, when I was stationed down in Florida.
Good.
Do you guys do that script tiger thing every time before a game?
The cadence count, yeah, they do that throughout the game.
Yeah, where they make like tiger in cursive, and then they dot the I. Do you guys not have an original like?
Are you talking about
tradition,
something
like,
Are you talking about something with the band on the field? I don't know. I don't know about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No,
They're
I
like,
don't
and
remember
now
that.
we're going to dot the I. Like, you steal stuff from Ohio State, you steal stuff from LSU, you stole orange britches from Tennessee, you stole bring your own guts from Notre Dame. Do you, besides rubbing a doorstop, do you guys have an original thought in your head in Clemson?
I don't know. There's plenty of original thoughts up there. We hide them behind
mean,
the
pretty
national.
They're the
trophy.
only people that jump on a bus and ride it around the stadium before the game. How about that?
Yeah. I don't get the whole bus thing. I don't get that. Just fucking walk. Who gives a shit?
Pretty soon y'all be wearing houndstooth and calling the dogs, and nobody understand what the hell you're doing. I mean, get creative, man. It's Clemson.
Cool.
So your mascot from Missouri. Wow.
The Clemson mascot looks nothing like Missouri. Now you're just being a fucko.
Yeah, he's way too cracked out to look like Missouri's.
Yeah. But as I said, hang your almost banners. You're almost this, you're almost that. Enjoy your big, huge wins that you had. And then, of course, the losses. Good night, sir.
Have a good night.
All right, Jackpot, you ready to go, man?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Well,
Cinema says South Carolina stole a song from a science fiction movie. Actually, I think they stole it from the Nature Boy, didn't they?
I think 2000. I think that it was in 2010 first. I think. So.
Damn.
We're done with this, man. You guys have a good night. We'll see you later on. Appreciate y'all.